There we go. Hello, welcome. Thank you for being here on time. The meeting has started, which means the recording has started, which means I'm probably just going to get started for all of the people who join us on YouTube. Welcome. So this is the Intermed School UCAT webinar number 5, which has gone very quickly. So this one's all on abstract reasoning. If you've joined us at any of the other ones, welcome back. If this is your first one because you just hate abstract reasoning, also welcome. Can I just ask if you can hear and see me, can you just react? Send me some form of reaction. Thank you. So that I know that I'm not just talking to a screen for the next however long until we do our first poly thing. Someone raised their hand, but I think it was just to say that, yeah, you can hear me. So feel free to react throughout. So thumbs up, whatever's. It's nice for me because it feels like I'm not talking to a screen, because this is a very weird mode of teaching. So yes, thank you for joining me. So for the next couple of hours, we're going to go through the abstract reasoning section. It's one that people really struggle with. But anyway, let's just carry on. I'm going to do all the intro-y bits. So yes. Fine. So just a quick thank you to all of our sponsors, particularly Medify, who've provided all of the questions that we've used in all of our webinars. Couldn't have done it without them. I'm not a question writer, barely a question doer, but yes. So thank you to them and to all of the others who help us do what we do. And who are we and what do we do? So I volunteer for a charity called Intermed School, which is a widening participation charity, started in the summer of 2020, so about 4 years ago, achieved charity status 2 years ago. We now consist of over 2,500 medical students and doctor mentors all over the UK, that offer free mentoring sessions and events to disadvantaged year 12 and 13 prospective medical students, which is hopefully you lovely lot. We offer one-to-one mentoring sessions. So I started off as a mentor. I had a little year 13 student who I got assigned to basically at the start of their year 12 or year 13, I can't remember. And I just helped them all the way through, from personal statement writing to UCAT help, and just general advice of like answering questions, talking her through things. And I think she found it really useful. So if you haven't signed up, the link was on, let me turn this off of private view. Sorry. If you've seen the slides, pretend you haven't. Because it's got answers on it and it just spoils it for you. But there was a link on the first slide at the end. If you want me to put that link back up, I can. But yeah, defo, sign up. I also know that a few months ago they did, Medify offered our mentees. So if you were signed up to our mentoring program, you got free access to Medify. So it's really, really, really worth it if you haven't already signed up, and if you haven't already got a Medify account. Because yeah, you can take advantage of some good offers. We also do online webinars like the one you're here at. We do loads of these. I do the UCAT ones, but we used to do BMAT ones. I don't know if the BMAT's a thing anymore. I never did it or got involved in it. But we do interview prep. So if you get interviews and you realise you have no idea what to expect or what you're doing, you can sign up for an interview, like practice. Personal statement writing, if you're struggling, there's loads of webinars and support with that on our website. Yeah, loads of good stuff really. So you're in the right place for getting all the support you need to get into do whatever you want to do. So yeah, on the website, and we also do work experience opportunities. That became a bit more of a thing during COVID because it was really, really, really hard to get any work experience. obviously because it was locked down and the NHS just closed its doors on everyone, including medical students. So yes, go to our website if any of that is interesting to you, and you can find out all of the lovely stuff that we can help you out with. So this is a webinar, just a little bit about what we expect from you guys. So we've got today, I've disabled the Teams Q&A, and we've got the Teams chat that we're going to use. So for the Teams chat, so we've got the Teams chat and we've also got a Slido Q&A that you can use. If you could use the Teams chat, so if I ask any questions and you want to respond as if you're kind of like speaking to me, use the Teams chat. If you have any questions that like you need like a written answer to, or just you need answering, then use the Slido Q&A, and we'll just kind of segregate it like that, and it should make things run a little bit smoother. Any questions about that, just let me know. Make sure your questions are relevant. Obviously, we're trusting you with the Teams chat. So nothing irrelevant, nothing inappropriate. And please be nice to me. I'm here in my own time, and I'm not getting paid or anything I'm doing this because I love teaching and I really want to help out you guys. And I know that people really, really struggle with the UCAT. So it's an absolute pleasure to be here, but only if you guys are nice to me. So we are being recorded, and that's kind of why your cameras are disabled, so that you don't all get uploaded to YouTube, because we don't have the rights for that, or it's a bit of a nightmare. And it's also kind of why I'm going to move more towards using the Teams chat and the Slido rather than having people speaking, just in case anyone doesn't want to speak, on a live webinar. And all the other webinars have been uploaded to YouTube now, finally. So if you missed any, you can go and watch them on the Intermed School YouTube channel. This one, I'm going to push for it to be uploaded because I know quite a few people can't make it. I'm also, if anyone's registered and they haven't been able to make it, or if any of your friends, I know obviously you're here, so it's fine. If you've registered, I can send a link like directly to this recording, and I think it's available for about a week. So I'm going to do that as well this time. I haven't done that with the previous ones because I couldn't work out how to do it, but I think I've worked it out now. There is going to be a short feedback form after the whole webinar series. So instead of sending you like 6 different feedback forms, we're just going to send you one to give us general feedback, anything you thought was good, bad. It's really, really handy for us. I've done this for 4 years now, and the feedback, every single year we've done something slightly different based off of the feedback we've got. So it's really, really useful for us. That you'll also be asked to give me feedback on my teaching, which I can then use for portfolios in the future, just to basically prove that I have taught and I've got feedback for it, and that I'm working on it. So that would be really useful if you can remember to do that when we send the email. I probably am going to spam you with the email to make sure as many people do it as possible. So just do that sooner rather than later, please. And once you've completed that, you'll be given a certificate of attendance that you can use to kind of prove that you attended this. So views expressed by me and our other speakers involved in our events are our own opinions and accounts of personal experiences. They don't represent the views of any university or reflect the official policy or position that Intermed School holds. And Intermed School has no affiliation to any universities. So it's all sorts of doctors and medical students from everywhere. It's not run by a certain university at all, so we're completely independent and unbiased. So this is me. This is a picture of me last week in Italy because I wanted to change it up. Hence the tan. I look a bit different this week. So if you haven't met me before, hi, welcome. My name's Louise. I've been an Intermed School UCAT officer since 2021, so 3 years, sorry, not 4. I am a final year graduate medical student at the University of Birmingham. I've finished my finals now, so I'm just waiting on the confirmation that I can graduate. And I've got a job starting in Mansfield, just north of Nottingham, in July, which I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to because, as we all know, med school is a really long process, and it feels like it takes forever. But it's worth it. I don't regret anything. So I'm a graduate student, so it's taken me longer than usual. So for most of you guys, I'm assuming you'll be 18 at school. So I didn't apply at 18 at school. I was too scared. Didn't think I was good enough. None of my friends or family knew anything about applying to medical school. So I just went to apply. I was going to apply, and went to apply. As usual, just through UCAS. And like I mentioned it to a couple of people in my year, and they were like, "Oh, what did you get in the UCAT? What did you get in the BMAT?" And I was like, "I've never heard any of these words before in my life. What are they? Why do I have to do all of these other things to get into med school? I thought I would just, put it through UCAS." So that freaked me out. And then they all had all this work experience that I'd been like, "What? I don't need to do this for any other." Anyway, I wasn't ready. I wouldn't have got an offer. I wouldn't have even got an interview. So I just didn't apply. But so I went off to do biochemistry because I liked biology and chemistry, literally no other reason. I actually didn't know what biochemistry was until I did it. But York was a lovely city. That's kind of what I fell in love with. And I got a uni experience, very different to medical school. So no regrets. Yes. And then, yeah, while I was in York studying biochemistry, I realized I didn't want to work in a lab for the rest of my life. I wanted to talk to people and treat people. So in my final year, decided I was going to apply for med school, finished my final year with a first, which surprised everyone. I got it by like 1%, which was lucky. Um, and then that kind of, my friends told me that biochemistry was the hardest part of medicine. So I was like, well, if I can do biochemistry, then I can probably do medicine. So then finished uni, and went off and did the UCAT. And that was my first experience of it. I got a Kaplan textbook and sat down with it for about 6 weeks. Not 24/7, obviously, but just slowly like work my way through all the sections. Use some of the strategies I'm going to share with you today. I spent quite a lot of time preparing myself, and then I ended up, that was in 2019. I scored 2,920, which is an average of 730, and I got band 1 in the SJT. And apparently that's quite a good score. It got me interviews. And I only said it once, and I didn't have any private mentoring or anything, but I did have to spend a lot of time on it. So if you're here today, you're already ahead of where I was at your stage. So don't fear. And I'm going to hopefully make your life a little bit easier because I've done all the hard work for you. And I'm just going to tell you exactly what you should be doing to approach these sections. So without further ado, this is the Slido link. We've gone back to Slido. If you've been here since the beginning, you know we've done all of the polling apps. So we've tried Microsoft Polls, Slido, did I do Mentimeter? Something like that. Poll everywhere. And Slido has just been the best. I'm limited in some ways, but I've worked around that. So if you could scan that QR code, and I don't actually know how to find out if people have been added, and give me a thumbs up when you've done it, would be helpful. Can I put a question in and you can like it maybe in the Q&A? We got a thumbs up. So one person of 24, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay, cool. I can't actually put a question in the Q&A because I can sometimes do that and then you can just like it and then I know you're there. And sometimes it will say when I've got people here, but anyway. Anyone struggling with the Slido, raise your hand now or forever hold your peace. Fine. Yeah, they weren't wrong. I think it's Eid today, so Eid Mubarak is that what you say? I think. So a lot of people can't join us. So actually, I've had up to 100 people on these sessions, and today we have a, a small 25, so it's quite an intimate one today. So thank you for coming. Um, yeah. So that's the Q&A. So through that QR code, um, use that Q&A to ask any questions that come up throughout that I haven't answered or you're not sure of. And when I ask you to speak to me, if I ask you questions, I'll kind of say it at the time, but you can use the Teams chat to respond to me. And then that's just easier that way, because I have been kind of asking people to unmute themselves, but it's a bit clunky, and not many people. I wouldn't want to unmute myself on a call of 100 people, so I think Teams chat is the way we're going to do this, because I don't want to sit here and talk for 2 hours, even though I could. If you don't know me, you know I'm a bit of a yapper. So that's why we do it nice and interactive. We've got loads of polls, loads of Q&As, loads of quizzes. So we can make it nice and interactive, and then it goes a bit quicker as well. And it's just a bit more fun for you guys. So no one's raised their hand, so I'm assuming we're all happy with the Slido. So let's go. So as a little starter, we're going to do some quantitative reasoning practice. Oh, I was meant to make a quiz of this, and I don't think I've done it. So maybe just do it, and then I'll tell you the answers. Yeah? What have I done? So, how many seconds? I think you get about a minute for quantitative reasoning. I think if I open the whiteboard, I get a timer. Let me get a timer up, sorry. I'm not very prepared today. I've had a busy day. Yeah, I've got a timer. Stop. Why has it started already? Bloody hell. Excuse me. Reset, but not 5 minutes. How do I make it not 5 minutes? Ah, here we are. I'm going to give you a minute and a half. I think it's 64 seconds, but that just kind of gives you a little bit extra time, because it's a bit clunky doing it this way rather than just seeing it. So get your note paper ready, get a piece of paper in front of you, pen, whiteboard, whatever, to make notes. Get your on-screen calculators up. You can use a handheld one, but you can't use it in the real exam. So this is a good opportunity for you to practice using the on-screen calculator, because it does just take more time. So get all of that up, get your note, pen and paper, and give me a thumbs up when you have, and then we'll start. I wish I could like see how many people, because it just pops up at the bottom of my screen, which is great. Does it work on? Yeah, look at that. And I can do this as well. Oh, it's not going to do it at the same time. Thumbs up. Yeah. Oh, it's because it's blurry. So with it blurs that as well. Okay, so we've got some thumbs up. I'm assuming the rest of you maybe don't want to practice quantitative reasoning, but do you know what? This is good practice, and I would recommend you do it. So I'm going to start a timer for a minute and a half and move on to the practice question. So ready, steady, and go. Okay, I've just launched it as a quiz. Okay, I've just launched it as a quiz. Oh, okay, we've got participants. That's good. Can I edit the quiz? I'm gonna just stop it and add all of the answers. So give me a sec. Bum, bum, bum. Bear with. You're not losing any time, don't worry. Sorry, I've been so organized up to now. 5, 6, 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Keep your answer in mind for the first one. I'll show you the second one so you can start doing that while I'm making the quiz, and then I'll launch the quiz and put your answers through. Right, I'm going to move you on to the third question. Oops. Sorry. Okay, I've launched the quiz. Basically stop. Oh my God, Adora's here. Hi, Adora. Stop at 4. If it carries on, there's more abstract reasoning stuff coming up. So pop in your answers now. Oh, it says first question. I think there you go. Okay, so put your answers in for the first question. Apparently, it's giving you 20 seconds. I'm going to turn that off. There you go. Um, there we go. It's really annoying that I have to reveal the answers as we go. Fine. I think a lot of you got that one right. Well done. I'll go for the answer at the end. So next question. Why is it doing the 20-second thing? This is so annoying. Oh, we got 10 of you. That's good. 11. 27 on the call. Come on, guys. Slido. Can you access the Slido through Teams? I don't know. Raise your hand if you need me to go back to the Slido thing if you've joined late, and I will, although begrudgingly. Fine. I think a lot of you got that one right. Oh, previous step. I'm stuck. Next question. Why won't it move on? I'm so sorry, guys. I was trying to plan this from Greece in like a car. So I wasn't able to access Slido, so I couldn't. I'm going to deactivate it and reactivate it. I'm sorry, everyone. This is really irritating. So we've got 10 votes for question 1, 15 for 2, which is good. So I'm going to launch 3 now. Okay. 2, lock, reveal. Next question. There we go. 3. Put your answers for 3 in. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. So we've got 7 votes. 10. That's good. I think that's about what we're expecting, isn't it? 15. Nice. Can we get it to 20? So there's definitely 15 of you doing this. Which is good. I turn the timer off. It's going to give you 20 seconds for some reason. Brr. Okay, we're sticking at 15, it sounds. Well done. Most of you got that one right. Question 4. I can't remember if I've shown you this one yet. I don't think I have. There you go. I'll give you a minute for that. Right, hands up. So if you don't know, just guess. We got 16 in the end, so that's pretty good. Right, I'll look it off there then. I don't think anyone else cares. Cool. Most of you got most of them right. I'm going to really quickly go through the answers. Oh, deactivate that now. Good Lord. Okay, fine. So, question 1. I think most of you got this right anyway. Can I see? Yeah, 83% of you. So well done. So with our quantitative reasoning, if you watched the webinar that I uploaded to YouTube last week, the way we do these ones is we identify the target. And if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. And if you're struggling, then getting stuff wrong. That's all I can say. So step one, we identify the target. So in this one, it's the shortest distance between some service stations. And then we want to have a look at the question. We want to extract the information from the question. And we've got a question with a bunch of service stations and distances between them. Great. We're going to need to calculate the distance between all of these, aren't we? So then we want to set up and solve it. And basically the only way to do that is to manually go through and do 80 minus 38, 38 minus 25, 25 minus 17, 17 minus 3.5. If you do all of that, the shortest distance is 25 minus 17, which equals 8 miles. So well done if you did that. If you're fast, you can do it in 60 seconds. So next one, target is we've got a speed. We need to, basically the target is we need to calculate a time, don't we? And in minutes. So someone put in the chat, how do we, oh, there's some stuff in the chat. Oh, all the polls are in the chat, that's great. Someone tell me in the chat, what do we need in order to work out time if we've got speed? What's the equation? I know Adora will know, and she'll tell me. I'm hoping that you actually can use the chat. Oh, new message. Yay, thank you, Adora. Sorry for picking on you. You're just very reliable. Thank you, Zoe, as well. Yeah, so we're using our speed equals distance over time triangle. I'm assuming you all did the triangle thing. But if not, this is the best way to do it so that you don't get confused. I've drawn it wrong. Oh, God, you can tell I'm not awake. Speed equals distance over time. And then we've got a little triangle and we can use that. So what we need distance over time. So we've got speed and we need time. So we know we're going to need to do distance over speed. We've got speed. We're looking for the distance. If we're looking for the shortest time between service stations, then how are we going to know which two service stations to go between? I know this is a really straightforward question, but play with me here, guys. Maybe I was unclear in the question. Logically, oh, yay! So we're looking, thank you, Adora, the ones with the shortest distance between them. Indeed, that is what we're doing it. Yeah, Yusuf, exactly. We're going to subtract the distance between each service station. And how are we going to know what the shortest distance is? Well, we've already done it. We did it in this question. So even though it felt like a lot of working out, it's now probably saved us a lot of time on this question because we already know that the shortest distance, 8 miles. So basically we do 8 divided by 70 on our little on-screen calculators, and that should give you 0.114. What is my units for that? Hours, thank you, Yusuf. So we've got 0.114 hours. How do I convert? And we need our answer in minutes. How do I convert this to minutes? Sorry, we're doing really simple maths here. There we go. We want to times by 60. Thank you very much, Yusuf. So we times that by 60, which gives us 6.8. And we need the nearest minute, so we're rounding up, and it's 7 minutes. So well done if you got that one right. I'm sorry, this is taking me really long today. But we'll move on to abstract reasoning really soon. I'm sorry. Right, this one, target. If Carlos is driving a certain speed, we're now trying to work out time again. Yeah, we just did time, didn't we? So we're doing time again. And it's time to this place. And and we know where he is at, and so if his distance is effectively 0 at this point, and we just want to know how much time it's going to take him to get to the furthest one away. So we're using our, I always draw it wrong. I think I'm dyslexic. Speed, not distance. Speed equals distance over time again. So time equals, oh, hello. That's not what we wanted. I'm going to use my laser pointer. So distance over speed again. We've got his speed, but it's in kilometers per hour, which is annoying. So we know we're going to have to do some form of conversion, and luckily they give us our conversion. They don't often need you to memorize conversions, and if they do, that's mean. It's not worth your time, to be honest. So we've got a speed in kilometers. We've got a distance in miles. So extracting our data, the first thing that I'd do is convert the 110 into miles per hour. So if 1 mile per hour equals 1.6 kilometers per hour, the way I always think about it is, because I get these really muddled up in my head, if we have 110 kilometers per hour, the way you get from 1.6, you convert 1.6 to 1 is to divide it by 1.6. So then you just do 110 divided by 1.6, and that gives us 68.75 miles per hour. Obviously, you can do this the other way. You can convert the distance into kilometers. I just did it this way. So 110 divided by 1.6 is 68.75 miles per hour. So now we've got a speed. We know our distance is 80 miles, so then we just do our distance of 80 divided by our speed of 68.75, and that gives us 1.16. If you get confused with your units here, they taught me it was either at uni or at school, always keep in all your equations, keep the units on. So if in this example, our distance was in miles, and our speed was in miles per hour, then the miles cancel each other out, and then our 1 over hours just equals hours. So then that's our unit. I know that's pretty straightforward, but when it gets a little bit more complicated, it can really bail you out. Great, so we've got 1.16 hours. We now need to convert that into minutes. So you can either times the whole thing by 60, like Yusuf said in the previous one, and that gives you 70 minutes, which you can then put as 1 hour, 10 minutes. Or you can just be like, okay, 1 hour is 60 minutes, and then you just do 0.16 times the 60, and then that gives you an extra 10. So the answer was 1 hour and 10 minutes. So well done if you got that one right. Final question. I think pretty much all of you got this right, but we want a distance of 13 miles. If you're smart and you wrote down all your answers from your first question, just go back to that, find out which one's 13 apart, and it's the distance between Fuel Up and Lakeview. And we've got to really read the question. Which station have they just passed? The answer is Fuel Up. Well done. Thank you for the applause. Sorry, just a little starter to get us thinking, and because I didn't do any quantitative reasoning with you last week, I just wanted to make sure there was nothing issues, but you all smashed it, so I have no worries. I did the highest in my quantitative reasoning. I think you just snap into it and you actually have quite a lot of time per question, so work quickly but efficiently. Anywho, without much further ado, let's actually do some abstract reasoning. The reason why we're all here. So this is without a doubt the section that most people struggle with. People don't get it. Very few people, this is their favorite section, but I'm gonna teach you why it should be, or how you can be less scared of it, because it's just so different from the others. Like verbal reasoning is just reading. Decision making, as I said, it's like logic puzzles and games, so it's actually quite fun. Quantitative reasoning is just maths. Abstract reasoning is just abstract. It's just weird. So let's talk about it. So abstract reasoning, the skills assessed are pattern recognition, really important skill. You will use pattern recognition the whole way through medical school. I now hear like the connections in my brain through patterns that I've picked up from patients is insane. It's such an underrated skill to be able to see patterns in things. It tests your focus and your attention, so there's quite a lot going on, and you have to really focus it, hone in on the important information, and that's really, really important in clinical practice as well. So you'll speak to patients who tell you their entire life stories, and you've got to be like, okay, which part of this is actually relevant and important and which can I just completely ignore? And that's a really, really difficult skill to develop actually. Probably one that I'm not very good at. I like to pay attention to everything, and I'm quite so it's a really important thing to practice, and it's also tests your critical thinking, so your ability to kind of like make decisions and be critical of things. The other reason people really, really hate this section is there are 50 questions and you only have 12 minutes, which is like crazy. Giving you 14 seconds per question, which is just insane. But don't let that scare you. Actually, when you break it down, you do have quite a lot of time per question. So yes, that's abstract reasoning. So there's 4 different types of questions. I'm going to go through them all. Again, there's not a certain amount of each question. There might be, but they don't release that information to us. The likelihood is you'll get at least 1 question from each of these question types, but probably more than like more like a few. But I couldn't tell you exactly how many. So let's start with classify the shape. So this question type, you're going to be presented with 2 sets of shapes. Let's get my laser pointer back. Set A and set B. And they're always called set A and set B, and it's always 2. And then you're given 5 test shapes. So this is how the first question will look like, and you'll basically get 5 questions with these 2 sets of different shapes that you then have to decide whether or not they go into set A, set B, or neither. So that means actually for the sets, once you've worked out the pattern of the sets, you're basically doing 5 questions in one. So actually, if you times 14 seconds or whatever I said, by 5, you get 70 seconds. So that's over a minute. So it's about the same as quantitative reasoning. So it's really not that bad. So it's worth spending some time. Approach to these, it's really important to just be strategic. Don't go in and blah it. Approach, be strategic. So the first thing we want to do is focus on sets. Then we want to try and identify some patterns, and then we want to classify the test shape. That is your basic structure of how to approach these questions. So if we do this one together, and then I'll give you a practice one to do after. So step 1, we're going to focus on the sets. So we're going to ignore the first test shape. We're going to look at these sets. Then we're going to identify some patterns. So let's word cloud, because we know I love a word cloud. Can you tell me some things, patterns, as in, you can just tell me general things that could have patterns. You can tell me patterns that you can see in these 2 sets. Like, what sorts of things are we looking for in terms of a pattern? I hope that makes sense. We've got some people typing, so we'll find out. Color, great. Really good first one. So yeah, in this one we've got filled shapes and we've got unfilled shapes. There's never more than monochromal colors. So it'll either be filled like these shapes, or blank or unfilled like these shapes, and sometimes they can be shaded, so they can be like gray, and sometimes they can have like patterns in them, but because of, I think probably due to accessibility and like color blindness, it's always monochromatic, as far as I'm aware. if you get a question in your exam that's got like reds and blues in it, then don't come for me. But as far as I'm aware, it's monochromatic. Every question I've ever come across has been monochromatic. The next one someone said was number. Yep, so absolutely. Numbers of shapes really, really important. So in like this one, we've got obviously the numbers of squares and we've got numbers of lines. So yeah, that's another really good one. Another one someone said is number of sides. So yeah, so we've got obviously in these ones we've got quadrilaterals, but you can have circles, squares, diamonds, pentagons, hexagons, anything. Someone else just says size. So yep, absolutely. There can be certain sizes of shapes, a certain number of a certain size of shape. Rotations, yeah, absolutely. There can be patterns with like the way. So actually in this one, you'll notice that all of these squares are at right angles. So there's none kind of at certain rotation. So if we get a shape that's got some rotated shapes in it, then it's going to be a no-go. Yeah, regular and irregular shapes. Yes, and someone said something else that's disappeared now, but it was a good one. Was it symmetry? Ah, intersections. There we go. I think it was intersections. Yeah, that's another really important one. So you'll note that none of these shapes intersect, and that's a pattern in itself. So if we got a shape that had a squiggly line going through one of the squares, we'd know to bin that off. So well done. Thank you very much for that. Some really good suggestions there. Obviously, there's loads and loads and loads and loads of things that can be patterns. So I find it really useful to have a strategy going in. So the first thing I look at is indeed shape. So that was one of the first things that one of you guys said. So in these ones, we've got quadrilaterals. Oh, crikey, what have I just done? Quadrilaterals, squiggly lines that are roughly sigmoidal, but actually sigmoidal, I'm assuming, I'm going to assume you don't know what a sigmoidal is. I'm sure some of you do, but it means it's in an S shape. That's literally what it means. But obviously that's not that consistent because this one's not really sigmoidal. This one's not really sigmoidal. These ones potentially, I think set A, they all look roughly sigmoidal. This is a kind of a different shaped one. But anyway, as we said, the focus and the attention is not my strong point. So yeah, that's the first thing I look at. So we know in both sets we've got shapes, quadrilaterals, and lines, and there's no kind of real big differences in shape. Cool. Next thing I look at is color. So like someone said, so we can clearly see a difference between the sets in that set A has filled shapes, so filled quadrilaterals, and set B has unfilled quadrilaterals. So color's the second thing. And like I said, mainly monochromatic or gray or patterned. And then the third thing is arrangement. So this puts in your orientation, your rotations, your poles. So certain shapes will exist in certain parts of the squares. So in both, like I said earlier, with they're all at right angles, so we don't have any rotated squares. We've just got them at right angles, so that's a pattern in itself. So it's really worth, when you're looking at patterns, what's the pattern for both the sets? So what does something have to go in at least one of them? And then what is then going to discriminate between whether we put it in set A or set B? So in both, we've got our quadrilaterals at right angles. And the lines kind of, they look kind of horizontal, kind of vertical, but there are some horizontal ones. So I wouldn't say there's any pattern in the lines that is that obvious. And the same for set B. The lines are a little bit random, aren't they? So that's arrangement. And they're also, if we go back to arrangement, they're also kind of arranged all over the square. So there's no real pattern in, they're always in like one half of the square or above to the top of the square or to the bottom of the square. So that's arrangement. And then I look at number. So this can be number of shapes, number of sides, any other things that you can think of. So I always start by looking at set A. So I started with the squares. So 1, 2, 3. Actually, anyone on the chat, what's the pattern in number for this? For set A or B? You can say whatever. Can anyone work it out? Isabel, completely right. Yeah. So the quadrilaterals in set A, we've got 3 in this one in that one in that one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that one in that one, 3 in that one. All odd numbers across the board. There's not one that's got like 2 in it or 4 in it. So set A, odd. I wish I could use my little pen. And then set B, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 in that one, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 2, and then 2, and then 4, and then 6 again, I think. So set B, there's an even number of squares, quadrilaterals, not squares. Is there any patterns with the squiggles in terms of number? Some people are saying there's an odd number. So this one's got 2 in it, so there's no odd number. So yeah, completely right. There's no pattern with the number of squiggles. It's seemingly random. I'm sure there is some weird pattern, but not worth our time. The main thing is we've got an odd number of filled squares in set A and an even number of unfilled quadrilaterals, Louise, in set B. And then obviously the number of sides we've already identified, they're all 4-sided shapes, so quadrilaterals. So that's number. And then the last thing I look at is size. So anyone notice any size patterns in either of them? Yeah, Isabel right. Yeah, the answer's no. I can't see any. They all look. There's no hugely massive shapes. Potentially B, they look a little bit smaller, but then you've also got this one here, that's slightly bigger, and we've got kind of bigger squiggles in A potentially, but again, you'd have to convince me because there are smaller ones. So there's no consistent pattern. I would agree. So that's size. And actually, when you put all of that together, it makes a lovely little acronym that I use called SCANS. So when you're identifying patterns, SCANS it. And it just gives you kind of a little framework, especially when you're in the UCAT and you're freaking out and you're just like, I can't see a pattern. It's like, right, look at the shapes, look at the colors, look at the arrangement, look at the number, look at the size. Done. Happy? Let's do a question then. So we'll do this one together and then you can do the rest by yourselves. I'm going to put a poll on. Which set would you put this one in? If I go back, can you still answer on the quiz? Yeah, you can. Good. Because I need to do some more questions. I can duplicate questions. That would have made my life so much easier. Add. Oh, I'm going to turn the timer off. Yes, I remembered. So, I've got blooming answers in. Bear with, mull over that for a few more minutes. Duplicate, duplicate. Oh, duplicate. So we're doing one shape together, so we've got 4 more to do. Yeah. Right, let's see what you all put. I've been in love. I forgot what we're on. 22 votes. That's such good, that is such good odds. Or such a good percentage of you paying attention and joining in. Thank you. So let's classify this shape together. Let us classify this shape. Sorry, I'm in the room. So what have we got? We've got 4 unfilled squares. So far, it's probably set B. And then we've got 4 squiggles. We know there's not really a pattern with the squiggles. So you've all put, 88% of you have put set B. So I agree. It's probably set B. And I think that is the answer. As in, I don't think that's the answer. That is the answer. It's set B. So I hope if you understood, if you put set A, it was an accident. And if you put neither, then you understand why. Because we've got 4 unfilled shapes, unfilled quads, and 4 squiggles. So it's set B. Cool. Right, so let's make this a little bit more interesting. I'm going back on the quiz now. There's 4 questions, 4 other shapes to classify. I'm going to try and give you 15 seconds because so maybe I'll put a timer on them. I'm not going to put a timer on them. I'm not going to do it. I will just time you. I might go get my phone because I can't really be bothered to use my computer one. Let me just get my phone. Oh dear. Thank you. So, are we ready? Get yourself up on the quiz. I'm going to launch it actually because you can't see it. We've got 22 of you on the quiz. So, and I think we get a leaderboard. So we'll make it competitive. Ready? I am going to give you 15. I'm going to give you 14 seconds. I'm going to give you exactly how much time you should aim to have in the real thing. So, ready, steady, go. First question. There you go. Let me turn my blur off. And I'm locking it. I'm going to be mean about it. So if you get to the end and you don't know, you need to get good at guessing because you're going to have to do it a lot in the UCAT. Obviously, we want to get as much right as we can, but there is a time pressure. And at the end of the day, you just got to go with your gut. Sometimes you can't mull it over. So let us go through this one. Sorry, something just popped up on my screen. So what have we got? We've got unfilled shapes, so potentially set B. but actually we've got 3 of them, and we've already worked out that there's an even number of unfilled shapes in set B. So it's not set B, and none of the shapes in set A have unfilled squares, so it's not set A. Therefore, answer is neither. So well done to 69% of you who got that one right. And I hope that the 31% of you that put set B get Y. So it's really important. It looks like it should go in set B because obviously it's got clear shapes in it, but the number is also important. There's multiple patterns going on. Cool. Right, next one. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I'm going to turn off my blur so that I can show you the timer instead of having to like count you out. I actually don't know how to turn off the timer. No. Spotlight. I can spotlight myself. Sounds dodgy. Video effects. None. Why is standard blur on? Apply. Apply. Green screen settings. Ooh. There we go. Apply. Hello. You can now see my dad's bed. Oh, guys, I'm so sorry today. I'm not with it. I hope you're having as much fun as I am. Are you ready for the next one? Let me get the Slido up. I'm going to get such poor feedback from this session, aren't I? Oh. And this is going to be on YouTube. Right, are you ready? Are you steady? Go. Sorry, I haven't done the poll up. I'm going to give you more time to answer. Just a crazy amount of time, isn't it? I'm gonna give you a few more seconds because I messed it up there. It's hard to do 3 things at once. Oh, we got 21 votes. Come on, last 7 of you, or last few of you, just guess. There's 8 people who are just, you're just sat here watching. Oh, also raise your hand if you want the Slido back. I'm sure you can get it on the, I think you can get it in the chat. So I'm not gonna put it up on the screen. Stella, can you not get on the Slido? Is that why you've raised your hand? We had a raised hand, but it's gone now. I hope that you've managed to get on the Slido. You should be able to, if you go in the Teams chat, you should be able to access the Slido. Anyway, with that one, I'm so distracted today, aren't I? The ADHD is ADHDing, but that's for another talk. Right. So let's do this one together then. We've got... I'm loving the little laughing reacts, by the way. Please don't feel like you can't react because it makes my life better. So we've got black shapes. We've got 2 of them. So if it's going to go in either set, it's going to be set A. But if we remember back to our numbers, set A had all of the odd ones, didn't it? And is 2 odd or even? Even. So once again, the answer is neither. So well done, 90% of you got that one right. I completely understand why you'd put set A, because we forget things and that's fine. But just really remember the numbers, because it's not obvious at first. So we have to do some math things. We have to do some girl math. Fine, right. I'm trying to work out how to do this. Do I put it on the screen first, then start the timer, then launch the question? That's what I'm going to do. Ready, steady, go. 21 of you. I'm really happy with these odds, guys. Thank you so much for engaging with me. It makes my life so much easier. Let's do this one together. We've got black shapes. So if it's going to be set A or set B, it's going to be set A. How many we got? 3. 1, 2, 3. Is 3 odd or even? Odd. Answer is set A. So there's clearly someone. Oh, I've put that the answer's neither. It's set A. It is set A. I put that wrong. I bet the one person that put neither is sat there like, ha, knew it. The answer is wrong on the quiz, guys. Please don't freak out. It's not going to affect your rankings. Oh, edit. So I'm sorry, that was my mistake. That's funny. Fine. So well done if you got that one right. That means the next one's probably wrong as well. Oh well, we'll move. We move. It's not the end of the world. It's all about resilience, med school. I'm telling you, you can tell it's taken all of my brain cells. So clearly in these sets, the red herring or the distractor is the squiggles, isn't it? So because there's no pattern, they're just there. Cool. Right, let's do that again because that worked quite well, other than me absolutely messing up the poll. I did do it quickly. So ready? Last one, and then we're going to do a big practice one. Ready, steady, and go. I'm not going to do it too close because the reflection showed people's names and I don't think that's allowed. Come on. There's 17. There's 2 people. There's 2 more people. Just guess. The last 20th person got in. Don't leave. I will be very angry at any of you if you leave stuff blank in the real thing, okay? Don't leave anything blank. Even if you don't know it and you can't find out, just put an answer, flag it, and then carry on. Do not leave anything blank. There's always that rumor of that person that sat the UCAT, didn't practice, didn't study, and guessed all the answers and still did quite well because it's what there's 3 things. You've got a 33% chance of getting it right, even if you just guess. Just guess, okay? If that doesn't convince you, I don't know what will. Anywho, a little tangent. We've got again some field shapes. So if it's either set, it's going to be set A. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 field shapes, and obviously our set A was odd. Let's see if I've put the right answer in this one again. So the answer is neither. Yes, 95. We're getting there, guys. You're learning something from me, hopefully. And I hope the person that put set B is just doing a wild card or pressed the wrong thing, because I couldn't tell you why that you would think that that goes in set B. But that's just me. But that's none of my business. So on the next slide, we've got a full one for you to do by yourself. So you're going to have to work out the pattern. We're going to talk through it afterwards. It's got the sets on the slide, and then it's also got 5 test questions. I'm going to give you the 70 seconds. So spend a good amount of time trying to work out the pattern, and I'm going to then do my magic on the poll and then start classifying the shapes. The shapes, I'm telling you all this now because otherwise I'm just going to talk over you when you're trying to do the bloody question. But it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to do it like that. So shape 1 or test shape 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll draw it on the slide as well to make it obvious. So let's just edit this out. Oh, there's a leaderboard, but I'm gonna have to. Oh, let's reveal the leaderboard. Sorry, I'm going back now. So for those, oh, is Adora first? Adora is first. God, you're so consistent. So Adora's top of our leaderboard with 3 out of 4 answers right and an average time of 14 seconds. Can we have some applause, please? I think you can clap. Thank you. And then we've got Stavia, then Hamail. I think you should be able to see it on your screens. Iman, Izzy, Harriet. Who's raised their hand? Derek, are you okay? Were you trying to clap? I think he was trying to clap. Derek, put something in the chat if you need it. He was raising his hand. I think he was trying to clap. Okay. Derek, hope you're okay. So I'm assuming you guys can see the leaderboard, but yeah. Thanks, guys. That was fun. Right, we're gonna stop that now, and I'm gonna reset it, or I'm gonna delete it. Yeah, and then I'm gonna add a new quiz. See, this is the only thing about Slido, so I can't do this in advance because I'm only allowed one quiz per presentation, so I have to make one, delete it, make one, delete it. It's a bit annoying. Maybe I should just invest. But again, I don't get paid, so. Okay, Louise, back on track. I can't believe this is going to go on YouTube. This is insane. I actually wasn't aware of that. Right, 70 seconds, which is 1 minute and 10 seconds, as we know. I'm going to mute myself, first of all, and then I'm going to make the quiz, and then I'm going to launch the quiz. If I don't launch it before the 70 seconds, note all your answers down, and then we'll do it. Yeah. Cool. Ready. A steady. Go. Okay, sorry, that took longer than 70 seconds, but give you some extra time because we're still starting out. So join in on the quiz. We're gonna see what answers we got. You got 15 seconds per question. I should have, in hindsight, I should have just showed you the sets and given you some time to work out the pattern and then showed you the test shapes. But we learn. And that is what the game is all about. 18 on the quiz, there's 28 on the call. Are you sure the last 10 of you do not want to join this quiz? It might be the best thing you ever do. You never know. No, can't convince. They've all gone. They're out. They're outies. Fine. 19. 19. Your year starts with 19. I was born in 1998, by the way, everyone. I know. I bet you were all like, oh, I actually don't, I can't, I dread to think. Yeah, thanks for the surprise shock face. I literally am that one where everyone's like, your year starts with 19. Anyway, 19 participants. Are we sure no one else wants to? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Actually, someone just left the call. I'm clearly really annoying to some people. Oh, we had a raised hand, but it's gone. Right, ready? Go. You're gonna get 15 per per thing. And I'm gonna tell you the answers straight away, actually. Actually, we're not gonna do it like this. Let's talk about how we did it, and then we'll go on to the answers. So, step 1, we focus on the sets. We hone in. We ignore the test shapes. Like Drake ignoring stuff in that meme. We want the test shapes. We're gonna identify some patterns. Let's get a word cloud going because I miss it. So let's reset this word cloud. Word cloud me. Tell me, what patterns have we got? It can be patterns that both of them have or just one of them has. Just tell me. Oh, I haven't launched it. I was like, everyone's just ignoring me. Why do you hate me? I've now launched it. What patterns did you all identify? Yes. So first one we've got is 3 black dots. Yep, you're actually completely right. Set A and set B, they've all got 3 black dots. Yay, that was a bit of an overreaction. Black circles at the bottom. So yep, we're thinking about arrangement here, aren't we? So really good to pick up in set A, all of the black circles lie inferiorly, if we're going to talk medically about it, or be formal. And set B, they all lie superiorly. So that was a really good spot. Well done. Set A, yeah, we've got the stripes on top in set A and on the bottom in set B, or superior and inferior, however you want to say it. Set A, 2 stripe on top. Yep, all of the ones in set A have 2 striped circles at the top, don't they? Good spot. Hey. Cool. Anyone, what's the red herring? If there is one. Let's have a look. What have I put? We haven't even done the really obvious one. So shape, what shapes have we got? Circles, yeah, and lines, perfect. All of the shapes just have circles and lines. So if we suddenly get a square in there, that's outies. Color, we've got filled, unfilled, and stripy. Arrangement we've already talked about, and I'm pretty sure we've spoken about. They're not all straight line, like perpendicular lines, are they? They're kind of like, they can be at different angles, and there's not really a pattern there. And then we've spoken about numbers, so it's basically it's all about the number of the different patterns or coloured circles, isn't it? And whereabouts they're lying. Anything in size? No, there's a variety of different sizes of circles, isn't it? They're not all the same size, which I guess is a pattern. But otherwise, that's pretty much it, isn't it? Coolio. Right. Let's stop the word cloud and get down to it. I'm going to relaunch the quiz. So anyone who hasn't joined it yet, the 6 people on the call who aren't joining in, let's just do it. So we've answered, oh, you've got another 15 seconds. So 17, only 17 of you have responded. 19, there we go, perfect. So most of you have put neither, and I agree. Woo! I have nothing left to teach you. You can all go home. I can't believe we're only on the first question type. I'm so sorry, everyone. It's going to be a long one. Actually, it's fine. The rest are fine. This is the longest one, she says. Yep. Why? Anyone want to tell me why that's neither? Because I'm bored of talking now. Go meet and chat. We're going Teams chat. I actually checked the Slido Q&A, but no one's asked anything, I don't think. I don't think I can go on it while I've, yeah, there's no questions. That's good. Oh, I have to Oh, no, I don't. Why did it say 0? Yay! Thank you, Adora Nanthana. I'm really sorry about my pronunciation. Nanthana and Siham, for telling me that it's neither because there's no black circles. Maybe I'll just do a whole session out with these. Oh, I've lost Slido now, and I'm tired. Sweet. Well done. Right, second one. Oh, Christ, I'm put it on the screen. Let me put the time off. Okay, there you go. Oh, so every time I try and take the timer off, it messes it up. Sorry, I'm gonna have to start it again, but you don't have to re-answer it. Let's just go. So we've done the first one, haven't we? So next question. There we go. We've got 17 votes. That's good. Oh, all of you have put set A, so it must be set A. Let's see. Why is it set A, everyone? Come on, in the chat. Yep, so we've got 2 striped circles at the top and 3 back at the bottom. Thank you, Afra. Thank you, Siham. Thank you, Nanthana. Fabulous. Well done. It feels like I'm actually teaching something. Or maybe you're just all amazing at abstract reasoning. Right, let's do the next one then. Well done. Right, next one. 10 seconds. Quick, 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 quick. I don't want to have to redo it. Great. I think there's only 19 people actually listening to me, so that's fine. Fabulous. Most of us put neither, as did I. I also agree. Anyone want to say why? We've got black ones. Oh, there we go. There's more than 3 black dots, and they're also at the top and the bottom. So, yeah, circles are all mixed. Fabulous. Thank you, Siham. Thank you, Jua. Thank you for talking to me. I get lonely. Fabulous. Let's do the next one. Five seconds. Fabulous. So most of us have thought it's set A, and I agree. 2 striped ones at the top, 3 black ones at the bottom. Easy peasy. I hope the people that put set B know why it's not set B, because of the black squares at the bottom and the striped ones at the top, and they're at the top in set B and at the bottom in set A. In set. Yeah. Let's do the next one. Final one, isn't it? Yeah. 10 seconds. Right. Oh, well done. I have nothing left to teach you. And with that, fabulous. Well done. Yeah, black circles at the top and the bottom. Fine. So it's neither. Well done, everyone. Oh, smiley face. Whoever smiley face is got 5 out of 5 with an average answer time of 14 seconds. So congratulations, smiley face. You are ready for this section of abstract reasoning. So are all of you, to be fair, but Smiley face, you're particularly smashing it. Well done, Iman, got second. Third is Izzy, and then we've got Maya Khan, Beth, Harriet. Adora's been knocked down to seventh. Adora, they come for you. You always start off at the top, and then we've got Afra, Nanthana. Yeah, well done, everyone. Congrats. Proud of you. I feel like that's a good place to wrap up Classify the Shape. So we've been through a couple of practice questions. You get 2 sets of shapes, 5 questions, assign it to set A, set B, neither. Pretty simple. 70 seconds to answer 5 questions, which actually isn't that bad. Once you've worked out the pattern, it's pretty bang, 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 bang. I'd say spend at least half of that time trying to determine the pattern, because it's not going to take you that long to just click the answers. If you're still struggling to see a pattern after about a minute, guess it all. Just don't even bother. Just go with your gut. Look at it and go, okay, that looks like it could go in that one. That one doesn't look like either of them. Flag that question or flag those questions, move on, because then if you smash out everything else and get 100% and you've got time at the end, you can go back and try and have another look at that pattern. But the worst thing you could do is spend, I think you've only got like 14 minutes, spend that whole 14 minutes, or like spend 10 minutes on one question or one pattern, and then like get 0 for the rest of it. Like, it's not worth it. Take it from me. Any questions about Classify the Shape? Any comments at the moment? Anyone really bored? Anyone need a wee? It's been an hour and a half already. I just need some water, but I think I'm ready to go. Oh, right. We are halfway through. So actually, this one is probably going to be longer than decision making. I'll try and not talk on for too much. So, no questions. Let's move on. Next one. Which shape belongs? To be fair, actually, these 2 are the long ones. These 2, pretty straightforward. It's a lot of practice questions. Which shape belongs? So this one's really, really similar to Classify the Shape. I get them mixed up all the time. Basically, Classify the Shape, you get a shape and you have to say whether it's set A, set B, neither. This one, you get 2 sets and you have to decide which out of 4 shapes belongs in each of the sets. It's 5 questions associated with each set again, so you have still about 70 seconds per group of questions. And it normally goes, the first one will ask you about set A, the next one will ask you about set B, and then set A, and then set B, and then set A again. It might be BA, 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 but normally it's pretty evenly split. So yeah, that's how this one goes. Let's have a go at how we look at how we approach these ones. So same as Classify the Shape, really. Focus on the relevant set, identify a pattern, then assess your test shapes. It's pretty straightforward. So we're going to focus on the relevant set first. So whatever set is mentioned in the first question, start with that one. I know it sounds very straightforward, but it can be easy to just look at both the sets and try and work out the pattern first. So we're not going to do that like we did in Classify the Shape. With this one, we're going to just look at one set at a time. So this one, we're focusing on set A first. We're going to identify a pattern. Let's go back to my lovely word cloud. Reset that. Go. Poll is active. What? Oh, it's really quite small, isn't it? What patterns can we see in set A? I think someone should put their name. Yeah, we've got a central circle. Well done, whoever put that one. I don't know if I can see who put that. No. Odd number of triangles is shouting at me. So many of you have put it clearly. I wish I could see. I'm gonna delete Julia. I'm sorry, Julia. Yeah, quite a few of us are putting odd number of triangles. So I'm assuming there's an odd number of triangles. Yeah, 1, 3, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool, and a central circle. Someone's put arrangement. What do you mean? Someone's put arrows overlap the circle. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely they do. What about the direction of the arrows? Do we have any patterns there? Someone thinks they're a random direction. Okay, anyone else? Well, they say I say I think, or they think they are in a random direction, aren't they? They're not pointing at anything in particular, they're pointing a bit all over the place. But equally, they do all seem to be pointing in the same sort of direction. But again, not really a pattern, is it? What about, what if I told you there is a pattern with the arrows? Is there a pattern in the number or the intersections or the arrangement? Pointing at each other. So these ones aren't, these ones are pointing away, aren't they? But that's a good suggestion. What else? What about where the arrow heads are? I'm really giving you hints now. Come on, someone can do it. No, no idea. Oh, three or more pointing inwards. Yeah, we've got quite a few pointing into the circle, or like the arrowheads are in the circle, aren't they? In a lot of these. Um, that's a good suggestion. Some in the circle, but some are out. Yep. What about relatively? Are there more going in or more coming out? Whoa, someone's just shouted at me, more going in. um, but yeah, congratulations. Whoever said that incredibly passionately. Yes, well done. There are more going into the circle than coming out of the circle. Nice. So then step three, once we kind of know what's going on in our set, let's have a look at our test shape. So one out of these four goes in set A. I'm going to do a little poll. Let's see. Edit. A. Oh, crikey. One or two or three or, and I'm going to reset the results. There we go. Right, there's a poll up. This is going to be the same for all of them. This will be one, this will be two, this will be three, and this will be four. Anyone else? We've got 9 people voted. Anyone else? Lots of votes for shape 2. Any others? Oh, someone thinks shape 1 is. Right, someone in the chat then, who's loads of you have put shape 2. Why do you think it's shape 2? I'm not going to tell you if you're right or wrong yet. I want you to tell me why. And I want to see you working. Yeah. Loads have said more arrows pointed in. So if we start back to basics, if we start with shape, we've got circles, triangles, and arrows in all of them, so that's fine. If we go with color, all the colors are consistent, fine. Arrangement, that's our arrangement. So we have got more arrows going in than coming out. That's what we're looking for, which is shape 2. And then all of them have an odd number of triangles as well and a central circle. So well done if you put 2. That was la correct. This one here, because there are more arrows pointing into the circle. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pointing in and 1 pointing out. Well done. Right, we're going to try, you're going to have a little go at the rest of them. Oh, this is all formal, isn't it? So you're now going to practice the remaining 4 questions. You'll have 20 seconds for the first question and 10 for the remaining 3. And that mimics the time allowed in the actual exam. So you get 70 seconds. I'd say spend like 20 seconds on the first one. And the second one, the first one where you're looking at set A, spend about 20 seconds. The first one where you're looking at set B, spend about 20 seconds, and then the rest should be relatively fast. And then I'm going to do it as a little quiz. So let me delete this quiz and do a whole brand new one. And I'll get you started on the first question. Yeah, go for it. Sorry, I'm just sorting the poll out, so I'm giving you a bit more time with set A. Oh, no, I've put the right question up. I thought I'd just given you the wrong question. So give me a second. I'm just putting the last one in. The last one is in set A. And the answer. Duplicate this. 10 seconds. That's the correct answer. Right, let's do the quiz then. So put your first question on. Hey, oh, there we go. I thought we only had 11 people, and I was like, where did you all go? How did I scare you off? 15, we had like 20 before. Come on, come back to me, please. Okay, 16. I can deal with 16. Right, put your answer for the first question. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually don't know the answer. Yeah. Okay. Fab. Most of you put set A, not set A. Most of you put number 1, and I agree. So what was the pattern for set B then? What was the difference? Put it in the chat. Yeah, so instead of an odd number of triangles, we've got an even number of triangles. Yay, fab. We've all got the right pattern. Well done. So even number of triangles and then more pointed out. Fabulous. Thank you. This one is Right, fabulous. Next question. Oh, I'll have to reset. I'm sorry. Let's go back. So this is the next question, and you've got 10 seconds. Whoa, only 7 of you are quick enough. You got to step it up. I'll give you some more time because I'm feeling nice, and you've all been very patient with me today. 3, 2, put your answers in. Great. Most of us have gone for option 4, so most of us got it right. Well done. I agree. So we're back to set A. So odd number of triangles, 1, 2, 3, more pointing in than out. So yep, it's number 4. Well done. Let's go on to the next one. Five seconds. Quickly. Guess. Most of us put number 3. I agree. We've got some upside down triangles going around here, so immediately they're outies. And then set B, we're looking for an even number of triangles, so we can. So already that one's out. Then we're eliminating that one. So then we're basically looking for ones with more out than in, aren't we? Better out than in, I always say. So indeed, I agree it's option 3, but I completely understand why you might have thought it was option 1. You just got to make sure we're counting. So there's 3 in, 3 out, which it needs to be more or less. So the correct answer was option 3. So well done. Right, last one. Five seconds. I'm going to give you some more time because only 9 of you managed to vote. There we go. We've got 16. Fabulous. We love to see it. Most of you put number 2. So again, get rid of these 2 because they've got our weird upside down triangles. We're back to set A. This threw me off, I think, when I was planning this because I was like, oops. So we want an odd number of triangles so we can immediately get rid of this one. I thought people would put option 3 then, and I was like, why? No. Yeah, option 2. Don't even need to do any counting. Just do the triangles. Let's see how we did in this one. Well done, Harriet. We've got a new one. I actually think I know Harriet. Welcome, Harriet. Nice to see you. Harriet's number 1. And then we've got Stavia. We've got Beth. We've got A. And then we've got Iman, Afra, Maya. All got 4 out of 4. Most of you got 4 out of 4, so really, 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 really well done. Adora, again, been knocked down to 8, but she always makes a comeback. Watch this space. Namfana, Silam, Jua, Johan, Izzy, Sawada. Congratulations, all of you. I am so, so, so proud of you. You're doing so well. Right, I don't know why I've got doubled up these slides. That's why there's so many slides on this thing. I got a bit carried away. Ooh. Right, we're doing that again, but with a new one. So you need to work out your own pattern. I'm gonna have a go at editing this quiz while you do that. I just need to add a question, don't I? That's what I need to do. Let me duplicate, and then I just need to change all the answers. Fine. I'm going to show you the first one. I'm going to mute myself because I'm sick of the sound of me, to be honest. Ready? Steady. Go. I'm so sorry, I had a nosebleed. So that's why it took a little bit longer. I don't know what happened. I literally was doing the thingy. I think I got stressed. Um, I'm gonna launch the quiz because it's all sorted, don't worry. Ready? Let's join. Let's see if we can get back up to 15 or 16 of you. I think it's stopped now. For future medics, if you don't already know, first aid management of a nosebleed. It used to be pinch the top and lean back, and we now say pinch the soft bit and lean forwards. And what's the treat? I think it stopped. Wild. Right, 14 of you, let's go. So you had loads of time for this question because of my nose. So I'm hoping you'll all get it right. I think I'm gonna go through the answers at the end, you know. Yeah, I'm not even gonna tell you. I might reveal it, but then we can talk about it afterwards. I'm gonna reveal it really quickly and then I'm gonna skip it. I don't want to reveal it though. Reveal next. There you go. So next one, sorry. Oh gosh, you've right next. And next. And last one. And I'm back. Sorry, my hair's a mess. Yes, so I was a little bit harsher on, sorry, I hope my audio's okay. I know the camera goes when I go off camera and then back on, it goes a bit freezy. So I hope the audio is still okay. Can I have a thumbs up, please? I need validation. Thank you. Thank you, Adora. Thank you for the hearts. I can do a heart as well. There you go. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. I really hope you're enjoying and you don't feel like you're wasting your time. Right, let's talk about the answers. So yeah, I did that a bit differently. I think it worked quite well actually, just skipping through and like giving you actually time like you'd have in the real thing rather than going through them one by one. I hope you agree. We'll try and do that for the others, I think. So, number one, let's have a look what you all put. I don't want to re-reveal. Can I deactivate it? I don't know. It's not going to get rid of all your votes if I deactivate it. No. So, number one, most of you put number three. Anyone want to put in the chat, why is it, what's number three? What's the, this is actually a really difficult one as a little, I hope if you struggled with this, I don't blame you. When I was making this, I was sat by a pool in Greece, so I can't complain too much, but I was baffled. I was like, I have no idea what the pattern is here. I can't see it. I don't know whether I was having an off day. But I'm going to I'm going to tell you a little bit about how to get around questions like this because it is really tough. I think most of you did okay anyway, but it is quite hard. That it's quite a complicated pattern. But if you do some educated guesses, it's actually okay. Adora. Let's see what she's got to say. The circle is black when pairs of arrows is odd. Triangle is black when double-headed arrows is even. Can we all please round of applause for Adora? Like, thank you. Honestly, Adora wins this UCAT webinar series. She is the BNOP, the big name on campus, which you will hear when you go to university. She is the MVP. A moment for Adora. She's going to take my job. Adora, if you get into med school, I'm not even going to say if, when you get into med school, apply for my job, please. Just message them. I will give you a reference. You've got this YouTube video. You will be good at teaching this because you're good at it. That's fine. I didn't even check if she was right, but she got it. It took me ages to work this out. I did not like this question. So let's go through scans. Shapes we've got. We're not looking at set B at the moment. Let's ignore set B. So set A, we've got a circle and a triangle. Circle in the top left, triangle in the top right. Sorry, I do know my left and right, but when you start doing medicine, it becomes anatomical, so it's flipped. Don't. You've got a wild ride coming in. It's a bumpy ride. Anywho, shapes, circle, triangle, and then we've got some arrows, some single arrows and some double arrows. There are shapes. Colors, obviously the arrows don't change color at all. The circle and the triangle they can be clear, so unfilled, or filled. So that's our color, and it seems that they can be either. And there's potentially a pattern there that Adora has alluded to. Then if we look at arrangement, we know there's always a circle in the top left and always a triangle in the top right. And then we've kind of got our arrows that are seemingly randomly placed, aren't they? Number, that is our big one, isn't it? There's always one circle and there's always one triangle. It's the number of arrows, isn't it? Why is it saying 5 minutes left in my meeting, first of all? If this ends, I'll cry. Oh no, we're gonna have to do it. I can restart it. I'll send another link. I'm sure it won't kick us all out. I apologize in advance if it does. Anyway, we'll carry on. We'll power through. So yeah, numbers the most relevant part, isn't it? So it looks like we've got the single arrows go in pairs, don't they? They're always kind of like this. And then the double-headed arrows, they're just there. And there's like odd versus even ones, and it seems to depend on whether or not the circle or the triangle is filled in or not. So as Adora has very, very intelligently worked out so quickly, when the circle is white, so I'm going to go through it obviously because it's quite, so when the circle's white, we have an odd number of pairs of singles. So here the circle's white and here the circle's white. And then we've got 1, 2, 3 single arrows there, 1 single arrow there, 1 there when the circle's white, and 1 there when the circle's white. So when we've got a white circle, we have an odd number of pairs of single arrows. Happy? Then when the circle is black, that turns even. So when the circle's black, we've got 1, 2, and then here we've got 1, 2, and then that's it. So we've got an even number. Potentially we've got, actually, if the circle's black, we've only got 2. So we don't know. So the circles relate to the pairs of single arrows. That means the triangles probably relate to our double-headed arrows. Yes, that's what Adora said. Good. I was checking Adora because I need to know. Yes, so when the triangle is filled in, we have an odd number, so it's the opposite, isn't it? Yeah, it's the opposite. So when the triangle is filled in, we've got an odd number of arrows. Oh no, that's an even number. No, double-headed arrows. Odd number of double-headed arrows. So here there's 1, here there's 3, and here we've got another black triangle, and there's 3. So when the triangle is filled in, we have an odd number of the double-headed arrows. And then when the triangle is white, we have 1, 2, we've got an even number of the double-headed arrows. So here we've got 4 and here we've got 2. Does that make sense? Quite a tricky one for my brain, at least. I don't know if everyone else found that really straightforward and it was just me. We've got some wows, I know. So this is comparatively a very, very difficult pattern, or relatively a very difficult pattern. So don't worry if you didn't get that. So the way, if you didn't get that pattern, the way to do it and the way I did it to work out the pattern eventually was, I had a look. I got roughly what was going on. So I got the circles, the triangles, and then we've got some arrows. I tried to look at the numbers of arrows, couldn't really work it out. So I went to the question, I just moved on and was like, right, so we've focused on set A. Now we're looking at our test shapes. So all of them have the circle and the triangle at the top. Which one can we rule out immediately? Put in the chat. 2, why? Yes, so immediately 2's out of the picture because it's got a grey triangle, and that doesn't happen in our sets, does it? So that's gone. And then I looked at the other test shapes and I was like, so they've all got 2, they both, the square, the triangle and the circle are filled in. So I basically ignored all of this and just focused on this guy here. And I looked and I was like, okay, so if both of the shapes at the top are black, then I need 1, 2, 3 double-headed arrows, or an odd number of double-headed arrows, and 2 pairs of single arrows, so an even number of single arrows. So that's the way I worked it out without necessarily knowing the pattern. So that's a really, really good way, and it's quick as well. So I know we needed an odd number of double-headed arrows. So this one has an odd number, this one has an even number, so I ruled this one out, I think. And then this one has an even number. Oh no, because that's got an even number. Wait, I'm confused now. Maybe I didn't rule that one out. Ignore me. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2. Maybe that doesn't work. So we ruled out B. A is only 2 single arrows or 1 pair of double arrows. So I ruled that one out. Am I just not counting right? I don't know. I'm confused. Adora, help. 1, 2, 3. Because now I'm confused. Oh, C's still there. I really realized that I didn't realize C was still there. Sorry, that was me. I had a bit of a mind blank. So yes, we know we want an odd number of double-headed arrows and an even number of the pairs of single arrows. So this one's got an odd number of single arrows, so it's only got 1, so I ruled that one out. And this one's got an even number of double arrows, so I ruled that one out. So the answer is 3. And I really, let's have a look how we did on that one. I'm pretty sure that's what a lot of you put. And I wonder if you did the same as what I did. Yeah, and that's what 75% of you put that. So I'm probably teaching you to suck eggs here, and you already knew all of this. But for those on YouTube potentially who were confused, some of us put option 4, and I hope you understand why it's not. So here we've got an even number of our single-headed arrows and an odd number of our double-headed arrows, and that matches up with this one here. Are we happy? Okay. Any questions about that? Anyone find that really tricky? No? Cool. Right, next one. So now we're ignoring set A and we're just looking at set B. And I'm not gonna. What was our pattern for set B then? Did anyone work that one out? You'll also notice that the rules or the patterns for the sets of the 2 groups of the groups of sets the sets of sets, they're all related. So they will be similar patterns, but like slightly different, like slightly opposite. So for this one, when the circle is, anyway, it doesn't really matter what the actual pattern is. We'll just go through how we did it. So what did most of us put for this one? Most of us got it right. So 88% of you put option 2. So I'm not going to go through it in any amount of massive detail, but we can do the exact same thing again. There's a grey shape there, so that's immediately gone. Then we've got 2 white shapes at the top left over. So I literally just looked at this one. And then I was like, okay, we've got 2 pairs of single arrows. So we want an even number of single arrows, pairs of single arrows. And then we've got 1, 2, 3 double arrows. So an odd number of double arrows. So then I went and looked. So single arrows, that's got 2, that's fine. But it's got no double arrows. So that's out. And then number 2, we've got 2 pairs of single arrows and 1 pair of odd. So, and then 1 and 1. So that one's out. So the answer is 2 for that reason. So if you're struggling, do move on to your test shapes and just try and do a bit of a process of elimination. We're 2/3 of the way through, guys. Should definitely be done by 7. And I'm really sorry this has been such a long session, but abstract reasoning is really tough. So I just wanted to dedicate the right amount of time to it. Right, let's see how we did on the third one. I'll try and just shoot through these now. Okay, we really struggled with this one for some reason. Let's see why. So we're back to set A. So you have to really make sure you read the question. So again, ignoring set B, ruling out the one with the grey shape immediately. And then we've got a circle and a triangle, a black circle, white triangle at the top. So again, ignored all of these and just focused on this one. And then we've got, of our single arrows like this, we've got 1, 2, and then of our double-headed arrows, we've also got 2. Have I counted that right? So yeah, so both of them are even. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is even, that one's even. So that's our answer, option 1. So well done. I only a couple of you got that one right. Loads of you put 2. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1. So it can't be that one because we've got an odd number of pairs of single arrows. And then for this one, we've got 2 and 3. So again, an odd number of pairs of double arrows. So it's not that one. So I don't know whether you guessed that one or what. But I hope that one makes sense. Any questions? Because we struggled with that one. Cool. Next one. How did we do? Oh, a lot of us got this one wrong actually. So again, immediately ruling that out. We're focusing on set B. Maybe we got the sets mixed up. That's very easily done. You've got to read the question. Is that what happened? Can someone shed some light on why we struggled? Ooh, who said explain again? Sorry, Isabel. Is that really difficult? Okay. Isabel, is it this one? Can you just put a yes? Because I did explain that very quickly. Okay, I'll do this more slowly. I was worried that all of you knew exactly what was happening. So let's get rid of all of this again. I'll slow down. So the way we approach these, focus on the set. So this one, set A, so we're focusing on this set. So we're ignoring set B. Happy? Then we're looking at, so with this one, I actually would just do it slightly differently. I had a little look at the set and was like, right, I definitely want a shape that's got a circle in one corner, triangle in the other corner, and some arrows in the middle. Don't really know what the pattern is because it's quite complicated. So then I looked at my test shapes. Immediately getting rid of the grey one, like we've done in the past, because there's no grey shapes in set A, so that one just doesn't fit. Then the remaining shapes left, we've got a black circle and a white square. So I then looked at the shapes in my set A and was like, right, which one have I got a black circle and a black circle and a white triangle? I keep saying square, don't I? I do mean triangle. I do know the difference. So I just focused on this one because the others have different things at the top. So yeah, do you see what I mean? So I looked at one that was already similar to the ones in my answers, so I could see what out of these three, what I'm trying to look for. And then I looked back at this and I was like, right, so in a shape which has a circle and a triangle, or a black circle and a white triangle, of our pairs of single arrows, we have 2, which is an even number. We know 2's even. And of our double-headed arrows, we have also 2, which is even again. So out of these test shapes, the one that's going to fit into set A, because it matches up with this one, is going to be the one that's got an even number of pairs of arrows and an even number of double-headed arrows as well. So then I literally just went from A to B, A to C, didn't even bother with D, and counted. And I went, okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 double-headed arrows in A, and 2 pairs of single arrows in A, or in 1. Therefore, that's my answer, because that's an even number of both. And for completeness, I can go through the rest. This has got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. So an odd number of. So even though it's got an even number of our double-headed arrows, which is good, it's only got 1 single-headed arrow. So the 1 pair of single-headed arrows. So it's not that one. And then this one, 1, 2, 3 double-headed arrows. So that's an odd number. So that's not what I'm looking for. So it's not that one either. Is that okay, Isabel? Does that make sense? Thank you for asking. I when I'm explaining questions, I'm really always quite nervous that everyone just knows the answer and I'm just droning on. Right. This one. Focusing on set B, ignoring set A, ruling out that shape. Then I've had a look at set B. I know I've got the circle, triangle, and I've got some arrows, and there's potentially a pattern, but I can't find it out because I'm not as smart as some people. So then I looked at all my answers of what it could be, and they've all got a white circle and a black triangle. So then I went back through these and was like, no, 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 no. So this shape is the one I'm interested in. So it's got a really quite, like, it doesn't have to be the same as this shape, but it's got to match up with it at least. So then we single-headed arrows, I counted them as 1, 2. And double-headed arrows, counted them as 2. So again, I'm looking for an even number of both pairs of single-headed arrows and of double-headed arrows. So just start from the first one. 1, 2, 3 double-headed arrows. So we can rule that one out. 1, 2, 3, 4 double-headed arrows, but only 1 single-headed arrow, so we can rule that one out. So hopefully 1, 2 2 pairs of single-headed arrows, and 1, 2, 3, 4 double-headed arrows. So answer is option 3. Is that okay? Well done if you got that one right. These ones really are tricky. Okay, there's only one more question left. Great. So well done if you got that one right. Most of you put option 2 for some reason. I hope you understand why it's not. Raise your hand if you don't, and I'll go through it again. I need a nap. Oh my God, okay, it's been 5 minutes since I got that message as well, and the meeting hasn't ended, so, but my battery is on 15%. Let me just turn my brightness down. Big deep breath. We'll get through this. Final question. Let's see how we did on this one. Again, struggled again. Okay, I think we might have been mixing up the sets maybe, or just had some lucky guesses on the first two. Let's see. And also, 10 seconds is not a lot of time. So I'm very, very grateful that even if you got it wrong, you guessed, because at least then you've got a chance of getting it right. Okay, I'm proud of all 11 of you that voted. Thank you. So one more. Let's ignore set B and let's just focus on set A, because that's the one in the question. I've already seen set A. I kind of know what the rule is a little bit, but I've got a new strategy which is easier for me and means I don't have to work out any patterns. Cheating. Work smarter, not harder. So ruling out the grey shape. We've got into this habit now. Then all the ones left, luckily, are the same. We've got a white circle and a black triangle. So in set A, white circle, black triangle. So we want this one and this one. So this time we've got 2, which is useful actually. So of our single-headed arrows, we've got 3 in the first one and 1 in the second one. So we know we need an odd number of those. And then of double-headed arrows, we've got 1 in the first one. And I'm hoping another odd number. 3 in the second one. So the answer is going to have an odd number of both pairs of single arrows and of double arrows. So then we go through them. This hasn't got any double-headed arrows in, so immediately get rid in the bin. 1 and 2, so that's got an even number, and this has got 3 and 3. So this is our answer. Option number 4. Really, really, really well done if you got that right. This is really a tricky one. This is about as hard as the patterns get, in that you've got the colours changing, there's a bit of arrangement issues, and not only do the colours relate to the arrows, they relate to the number of arrows, and it's not even an explicit number, it's an odd or an even. So there's quite a lot of layers to this pattern. If you're really, really struggling, see if you can do something like this, where we use our test shapes to kind of work out the answer. Failing that, scans. Go back, look at the shapes, look at the colours, look at the arrangement, look at the number, look at the size. If you really, really can't find anything, guess. Rule out the ones you know it absolutely is not, and then guess. Then you've got a 33% chance of getting it right. Are we happy? Fabulous. Any questions about which shape belongs? That's the 2 big bulky sections done. The next 2 are easier. I promise. Yeah, right, let's move on, because I'm bored. You must be bored. I used to teach this as one webinar, the whole of the UCAT in one 3-hour webinar. Horrendous. I don't know why I ever did it to myself. So spreading it out over 6 weeks is the best thing I've ever done. Next question type, second to last. We're nearly there, guys. I will definitely get you done by 7. I'm going to aim for 6:30, but probably it's going to be 1:45. Right, let's complete the series. So these ones, you're going to be presented with a series of 4 shapes in a sequence. You must then choose the shape which goes next in the series out of 4 possible shapes. So similar to the which shape belongs, but different. 14 seconds. These are super easy, because so you can do it in 14 seconds, I promise. Yes. So first, workout sequence. Second, work out without even looking at the answers. I always have in my head, okay, I need a shape that's got this here, this here, this here, and this here. And then you just got to pick it. It's that straightforward. So in the Teams chat, what is the sequence for this one? Actually, while you all mull that over, I need a wee. I'm gonna have a little break. Should we all have a little 5 minutes? I'll be back at like 20 past, so 3 minutes. I always get really nervous. Oh, it's gonna go crazy a bit. I always get really nervous when I go to the toilet on Zoom calls that everyone can hear me. You always hear those horror stories of people that go to the toilet on a Zoom call and forget to mute themselves, or somehow the camera comes, and I literally prang so much. I'm like, what if everyone can see me or hear me? So I hope you couldn't, and if you could, I'm sorry. But it's also gonna go on YouTube, so that's great. But I hope we're all feeling, I hope we're all feeling refreshed. I could do with a cup of tea, to be honest, but let's just move on. Let's just carry on because this has gone on long enough. When I made it and it was 100 slides, I was like, and my teacher friend was like, that's what we call death by PowerPoint. And I was like, but it is an interactive PowerPoint and it hasn't been me just lecturing you. So, and abstract reasoning, it just does take time, unfortunately. So no regrets over here. I think you'll be ready for abstract. Like, it's just practice after this anyway. So 20 past, let's crack on. Pause. Cool. I think oh my God, there's only 23 of you left. We started with about 30. I've bored 7 people to death, or they've had to go to dinner or something. I'm going to tell myself it's the latter. Right. Gosh, I'm so sleepy. Teams chat. What's the sequence? I should have said in the chat while I was gone. I'll just take some time. Nanthano has come to the rescue. So the shapes move 1 space clockwise. Amazing. Yeah, the shapes just basically move 1 shape clockwise. There's also another subtle pattern. Did anyone pick it up? There's also another subtle thing that changes that I didn't see the first time I did this question, but it is actually important. Yes, Isabel, 1 overlaps. What is anyone know this? Can anyone work out how they work out which one overlaps? Okay, we'll come back to that. So we now want to work out the next shape. Literally on my page in front of me, I draw my little square. That's too big a square. I don't like that square. I'm not even going to draw the square first. I'm going to draw the we want the sequence to be the same as these. So I know I want a diamante, and then a heart, and then a circle, and then a cross. That's what I'm looking for. And we've got a diamond going in front first, and then a heart's gone in front, and then a cross has gone in front. So which one do we think is going to go in front next? The circle, absolutely. So we're looking for a shape that basically looks like this. Fab, well done, everyone. And then that makes my life really easy. We're going to rule out that one immediately. And then we're looking for one that's the same sequence as this with a circle in front and ticky freaking box. Done. Job done. How easy was that? And I think a lot of you put that. Did I even ask what the answer was? No, I should have. Oh, I could have. Oh, well. Oh, well. Move on. We'll do a quick practice question and then that's this section done. Can you imagine? We just did a section in like 5 minutes. Wild. So I'll do this. Let me delete this quick. I stand for Slido, but it isn't me, isn't it? Sorry about. Next shape. And then I'm going to do the same of 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. And I'll lapel them. I'm going to give you 50. I'm going to give you 20 seconds just to account for slowness of me, basically. Oh, we've got 2 practice questions. How exciting. Cool. Ready? Oh, actually, I'm going to show you the first one and then I'll launch the poll at some point. Ready? Steady, go. Right, I've launched the poll, so join it if you can. You're dwindling. My numbers. People are bored of me. This is my last talk as well. I should have said at the beginning. This is my 5th and final. But you're in safe hands next week with the SJT with Leah, who's lovely. And I'm sure you're all bored of me. Okay, we've got 10 people. That'll do. So have a go. You've got 20 seconds and then I'll move it on and then we'll talk about it. Someone's in the chat, or is it me? Yeah, it's me. Right, let's see how we did. Let's reveal the answer. It reminds me of no likey, no likey, no. What is it? Eligible. Someone reveal themselves from Louise. You can see focus and attention isn't my thing. If you have ADHD, med school's hard. Yeah, diagnosis. I did. And it's still hard. Anywho, let's move on. Well done. Oh, Christ. My laptop's going to die. Okay, we're going to get through this. If I just block off, I'm sorry. Most of you got it right. Fabulous. The little hand moves 1 space clockwise. Big hand moves 1 space, and then it moves 2 spaces, and then it moves 2 spaces again. So I found difficult. I was like, I don't actually know, because I looked predict what the next shape's going to be. I don't know where that big hand's going to go. So we're looking for the little hand at the 1 o'clock position, aren't we? So we can rule out this one and this one. So it's out of these two. Then the big hand, out of those two, only, or you will put 3 anyway. So maybe it's, so sorry, that this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. I hope that is obvious. So then I looked at the big hand, and in one of them, it's moved 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. So this one, it's moved 4, and this one, it's moved 5. And I was just like, in my head, 1, 2, 2, 4 is more likely a pattern. I feel like I've heard it. It's like Fibonacci or something, more likely than. Is it the sum of the previous 2? No, it's not. Because then it'd be 1, 2, 3, whatever. See, I can't work it out. I Googled it. I think I even asked ChatGPT, like, what is this pattern? And that couldn't tell me. But anyway, I went for 1, 2, 2, 4, and it was right. If anyone knows why that's the answer in more smart terms, probably Adora does, then please tell me. If not, just go with your gut. And most of you did. You got it right. Fabulous. Well done. Let's do another one. Ready, steady. Oh crap. Polar. Go. So well done to the 6 of you that got an answer in. It's not a lot of time, but I wanted to just try and not get you too used to having all the time in the world, just being a bit snappy about it. If you're struggling with the times, start off doing them untimed until you get good enough, and then start doing them timed. That's what I would say. And try and do like full section practices, because it's not that it's timed like I've been timing them. It's not that the screen will change and you won't be able to put an answer. You get time for an entire section, and you can use that time however you wish. So it's fine. That's why I say guess, flag, move on. Save as much time as you can. Most of us put 2. Let's see. Congrats. Most of us got this one right. So shapes, we've got a circle and we've got a diamond with a line in the middle, and one filled and one not filled, and then not filled and then filled. Fine. And it looks like the circle is always above the diamond, and then the diamond changes by 90 degrees, doesn't it? So my next shape in my head, I'm not even, why do I keep drawing the square? I just don't need to. I am looking for something that has a diamond in like a horizontal position, with one side filled in. It's gone right, left, so I think I want the right side filled in with a circle above it. That's what I went for. So this one's got the circle below it, so I got rid. This one's got that, so I got rid. And this one's not the right way. This one's vertical, not horizontal, so I got rid. So yeah, I put 2 as well. And that's the right answer. So well done. It's not 3. I can kind of see why you would have put 3, because it's got the black and the white. It's the orientation of the diamond that's different. So I hope that makes sense. Any questions about complete the series? We did that in 10 minutes. So I'll definitely get you done by 6:45. Easy peasy, and we can all have a cup of tea and a nap. So complete the statement. These are a little bit more tricky than the complete the series ones, but they're fine. So you'll be presented with a statement relating 2 shapes according to a certain rule. So this is to this as this is to question mark. They're like bridge diagrams. Like mind maps. I went to a really weird mind map school, and we did mind maps, and I'm pretty sure it was a bridge diagram. Yeah, a bit weird, but once you get your head around them, it's fine. So the approach to these ones, we want to start by looking at the first 2 shapes. shapes and see what the relationship looks like it's going to be. Then we want to look at the first two starting shapes and see how they've changed and kind of then what we're going to have to do to translate that to the next one. And then we want to select the correct test shape. Easy. So number one, determine the relationship between the first two shapes. So shape one, we've got arrows with slightly different configurations. Shape two, we've got moons and we've got squares and we've got a circle. The moons are in the positions of the arrowheads of the top arrow, and the triangle is to the left of the bottom arrow, and the circle is to the right of the top arrow. And it's also got the shorter end, the circle one. Then we want to look at our starting shapes. So we know that we've got the arrows are the same, but they're just in different positions. And we kind of want to see how they've moved. So we can see that kind of this one has rotated. It looks like it's rotated 90 degrees anti-clockwise. And then this one looks like it's rotated 90 degrees clockwise. No, anti-clockwise. Yeah, so it's the whole shape has rotated. It's really hard to see, anti-clockwise. And then the arrows have changed shape, changed position. Because at first I was like, has it flipped? Is it reflected? But it's, maybe it is reflected. No, it's not reflected, because then this arrow, let's draw it, would be, if it was reflected, it would be the other way, basically. So they've both rotated 90 degrees clockwise or anti-clockwise, clockwise, and then the arrows have swapped places. Happy? So then we want to select the correct test shape. So we know we want the moons to be in the same position as the arrowheads of these. So I know I'm going to want a moon here and a moon here. Easy. And then I want the triangle to be basically where the long arrow is. So I want the triangle here and the circle. I feel like I've really overcomplicated this one, but I remember getting confused by it. And then so I want the triangle up here and the circle down here. And this is why I don't look at the test shapes, because they freak me out a bit. They confuse me. So get rid of these because the moons are in the wrong place. And then I want the triangle at the top. So bang. Bob's your uncle. There it is. So the correct answer. Oh, wait. We're doing a new question. I was like, why has everyone put number 2? But that's the old one. So that's the answer. And I hope that makes sense. So let's do a practice question. Bum, 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 bum. Statements. And then let's reset. Oh, I need to deactivate. That's probably why, isn't it? Reset. We got 2 of these as well, and then we're done. Guys, we can see the end. I might even, no, I've done 2. Right. Complete statement. And let me just pop the answers in because it won't let me save it otherwise. Next one is right. I'm going to launch this. Let's go. Oh, thank you for still being here. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you so much. Let's go. 15. Oh, it's going to time you, isn't it, on the thing? That's good. Ready, steady, go. Oh, we've got a mixed bag. I'm not surprised, to be honest. This one's really hard. There's just so much going on, and it's really, once you know it, it's fine, but to work it out is difficult. I'll give it to you. So well done if you got that one right. 33. So two of you got that one right. Well done. And rest of you, well done. Even if you just guessed, I'm proud of you. You're doing it right. You're doing the UCAT right. Anyone want to suggest what they think the pattern was? So how do the first two shapes relate? I think it's hard as well because I put this one straight after the last one, in which the shapes correlate to the position of the arrowheads. So that's where my brain went when I first did this. Let me check the chat, see if anyone's suggested. Yay! So yeah, there's the same number of arrows. Well done, Adora and Hamayil. I haven't heard from you, Hamayil, before, so welcome and thank you for interacting. Yeah, Harriet, arrowheads, number of stars. So Harriet's got it on the nail, hit the nail on the head. Arrowheads equal the number of the filled in stars. The squiggly lines or the irregular lines equal the number of grey stars, and the straight lines are the number of white stars. Now you can work all of that out, but you can also just work it out by the number, by just doing one of them. But yeah, fine. I think there's different numbers of all of them, isn't there? So well done if you got that. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 arrows, 1, 2, 3, 4 black stars. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I can't count, 5 arrows. So we're looking for the shape with 5 black stars. So it is D. That was what was, yeah, the answer. Good. Yeah. Does that make sense? Is everyone happy with that? Do you see what I mean? It's a little bit tricky, but actually when you know it, it's fine. Right, one more question. We've made it. The last question, guys. I'm so proud of you all for still being here. Thank you. Are we ready? Are we steady? Let's go. What a way to end it. What a way to end it. Well done, everyone. Oh, I feel like we've achieved something from the beginning to the end. So this one's a little bit tricky as well. It's a little bit mind-boggly. But yeah, first one, I basically just was like, okay, arrow, arrow, circle, circle. I'm looking for one. The arrow turns into a circle. So immediately these two are out. Then we've got these two. And then it's this weird square shape turns into a square, doesn't it? So it's this one. Well done. I'm so proud of you all for getting that. And at home, I forget that this goes out and people watch this. Well done if you as well. I'm proud of you. And if you've watched this far, thank you. And we're done. Any questions about complete the statement? We'll go no. Summary. Practice, practice, practice. Start practicing them without a time limit. Otherwise, you're just going to overwhelm yourself. Then start doing them timed. Sorry, my brain is frazzled. Then start doing them timed. There's no point trying time because you're just going to get frustrated and overwhelmed. Remember scans. If you're stuck, if you can't think of a pattern, if it's not coming to you, go methodically through it. Shape, color, arrangement, number, size. They're the 5 main things that are going to have a pattern. If a question is taking too long, if you're just looking at it, like whatever one it was, where's the one that was really hard? Let's go back to it. This one. like this one. If you're just looking at it and you're like, I don't know, man. There's definitely a pattern. There's something's going on, but I don't know what it is. Yes, absolutely. Do not waste time on it. It's not worth it. You've only got 15 seconds per question. You can take the L. And if you put an answer, you've got a chance of getting it right. And no one gets 100% in the UCAT unless they're God, I think. Adora might. Adora, I'm actually really interested. Can you email me when you get your UCAT score? Because I think it's going to be, because you've smashed all the sections so far. Any final questions about abstract reasoning? What did I say? 6:45 on the dot, sorted. No. Final leaderboard. Harriet, well done. So Harriet smashed that one, and Adora's back to the top spot. She also got 4 marks. Harriet was 5 seconds quicker though. So congrats, Harriet. And Julia and Yusuf and Iman and Nanthana, sorry, I did get that right eventually. And Hamayil and Beth. Well done for still being here and for contributing. Thank you so much. I really, 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 really appreciate it because I put a lot of time and work into these sessions. So it's nice to know that people are here and benefiting from it. I'm gonna let you go. Thank you again. Thank you, Medify, for the questions because I couldn't write these. Any other questions or comments or feedback, or if this was just awful and you want to tell me off, don't email me. No, email me at any time. Someone emailed me last week with a question that they just couldn't do, and I filmed a little worked tutorial and put it on my YouTube channel because I have one of those now. I'm one of those girls. Who do I think I am? So yeah, any abstract reasoning stuff, and where there's a pattern and you just can't figure out why the pattern is that, send it to me. I'll have a little go at it and I'll tell you why it's silly, and I'll make you feel better about it. I'm not gonna ever poo-poo anything and be like, this was easy. Why did you ask me this? Because the UCAT is hard. Okay. Thank you. That's 3 hours on the dot now. I'm gonna go wine. But one final boom, and I'll do a heart as well for you all. I'm gonna close this quiz for the final time. Big shout out to Harriet, big shout out to Adora, and every single that's put anything in the chat. You're amazing. You're gonna do amazing, and you'll make great doctors. Bye. Go, leave, get out of here. And I'll see you all at the Q&A. There'll be a drop in if there's anything. So yeah, bye.